Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay and today we are talking about your environment and how that can relate to your mental state. So let's get right into it and see what I have to say about it. So, an uneasy mental state. Symptoms may include something just making you feel agitated but not knowing what. Recently been feeling low. Always on the edge and you're not quite sure why. Your blood feels like it's boiling. And general undefinable uneasiness. If you've been experiencing some of these symptoms, quick take an inventory of your environment. Now this doesn't just mean your present environment, it also means the environment that's been around you for the time you've been experiencing this uneasiness. So what does it mean to take inventory? Well, it means to think about every little thing that has been coming into your environment and thus coming into your life. If you can't be honest with yourself, ask someone close to you for help because there's a good chance they may know you better than you know yourself. Also, if you're like me and you can't remember the thing you thought of a few minutes ago, then maybe write it down on a piece of paper or, take a very in-depth mental note. So some questions you can ask yourself. Where have I been spending my time? That means where are you physically going throughout the day? A lot of times people like to lie on this one and say they're doing 1, 2, and 3 things because they don't like to think about all the other things that they're doing that they really shouldn't be doing. So again, be honest with yourself. Ask someone for help if you can't deal on your own, and really write down all the things that you are physically going and doing throughout the day. Okay, so what have you been listening to? What have you been taking in through your ears? Have you been listening to music? Have you been listening to podcasts? Have you been listening to people speaking negative things over you that maybe isn't quite the best for you? Thinking about the things that you've been allowing to come in through your ears, and that is part of your inventory. What have you been watching? What have you been taking into your environment through your eyes? What are you taking into your body? What are you physically eating? What are you physically drinking? And who are you letting physically touch you or come into your very personal environment? Who are you allowing to physically interact with you? What mental environment are you giving yourself? What are you allowing yourself to believe? What are you defining as true for you? Alright, so now since you've taken your inventory, what's next? Well, next is to start drawing some connections for yourself. Now, most people aren't looking for the connection between their environment and their mental state as it comes to how they perceive the present moment. And while not all uncomfortable feelings can be attributed to environment, a lot of them actually can. So, what you'll find is really cool is when you start to take inventories of your life and start to really analyze what you're taking into your environment, you're going to see some patterns starting to occur. So what's really cool is when you start to take environmental inventories of your life, you will start to see and recognize the patterns that exist within the things that you may be wanting to omit from your life. I remember when I was younger, I was sensitive to these things and I was making these connections at a young age. And I remember though, when you're a kid, you don't always feel confident enough to speak up for yourself and say, hey, I don't really want to be in this place, or I feel I have the ability to leave it or go somewhere else. And you just kind of feel stuck. I remember feeling the need to go with the tribe so that I didn't feel even more strange than I already kind of was. I didn't like to stand out. Newsflash, watching the Pet Cemetery when you're 12 years old doesn't really serve you or the way that you feel when the lights go out over the following months. Wasn't quite what I needed to be taking into my environment at that time. In America and in lots of other parts of the world, people watch hours and hours and hours of entertainment. And a lot of that may seem really innocent, but if there's something in your life that is giving you unrest or a sense of uneasiness, it's a good time to take inventory, like I said, on your life and see if there could possibly be a correlation. There could or there could not. There may or there may not be a correlation. But wouldn't you like to know if there was? Sometimes people will tolerate verbal abuse in a relationship or a job situation for months or years on end before the light bulb finally goes off in their head saying that this environment is not serving me. And when it does, it can be sometimes really traumatic to think that I allowed this environment to go on for so long. Now, wouldn't you like to take an inventory sooner so that that potentially maybe doesn't happen? Taking inventory and assessing these parts of your life, it's at the end of the day, it's just a practice. So the more that you do it and the more you're just conscious of the state of the things around you and what you're allowing into your being, the easier it will be, and the easier it will be for you to probably make some connections in your own life. So let's say you found it, right? You found the connection of what's been irking you. You found the root of the cause. Awesome. Okay, what's next? So take control of your environment, whether it's physically moving in that moment, whether it's shifting your beliefs in some way, how you were mentally approaching a topic, whether it's making a plan so that you can physically or mentally get out of a situation or an environment that was causing you harm. Start making that move right away and going in the direction of taking complete ownership of your environment versus being a victim of your environment. So something important to remember is your environment and your life in general are 100% your responsibility. At the end of the day, you are accountable for the environment that you allow yourself to take in. I know we often have to deal with difficult situations that may have an environment that is less optimal, and that's okay. And going through the struggle is okay if you're getting a better gain from going through that process, but if you're just subjecting yourself to something that does not have any long-standing reward in the reason why it's there, then that is a sign that probably subconsciously you already know that this isn't serving you, this environment isn't good for you, and that you should probably get the heck out of there. And that's why a lot of the times people experience that uneasy feeling, all the other things I mentioned in the beginning of this video. Nothing is worth the sacrifice of your mental state long term. Just remember, there is a better way to do the thing. You just need to be creative enough to find it. If you can't find it on your own, ask someone for help. So a few takeaways to remember are: take inventory of your environment, draw the connections you need to see to be able to find the patterns that are causing you the unrest in yourself, make a move when it's appropriate, remember that you have bodily autonomy, remember that you have control of your space, and remember at the end of the day, you can figure it out. This is a near and dear subject to my heart because I really believe that we take in so many more things than we realize on a daily basis. So when we're able to be conscious of those things and really be protective of our space and not taking all the extra crap that life may be trying to throw at you, if it doesn't serve you, leave it be. There's no reason to take it into your environment. Take in the things that are gonna make you a better person, serve you to the best of your ability, serve the world to the best of its ability, and make it a practice, like I always say. All right, guys, I hope you like this video. Reminder, I do write for a blog called I Think I Feel. The blog post related to this subject will be below. Like and subscribe. I always forget to ask those things. I just figure if you like this video, you will like it and you will subscribe. But, you know, shameless plug. And I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.